Essential dive equipment checklist. Have you decided to buy your own equipment? Plong Aussie has listed for you the essential equipment for diving. Looking at the photos of my last diving series, I realized one thing: what do you wear like gear? I had fun counting and I didn't get to the end of it. Hence my question: how come I don't forget more things every time I take a dive? So I thought to myself that it might be useful to make a list of all the essential equipment for a good dive, and I wanted to share it with you. Basic equipment for bottle diving. First, we have the essential equipment. Without this equipment, you don't even have to think about going to say hi to the fish. The diving mask. What I envy first about fish is that they can see underwater. We, as good old land animals, are forced to wear a mask. Whether it's the single window masks from 20 years ago to the twin window silicone masks of today, or even full face masks, the principle is the same. It is essential to choose the right mask. A mask that leaks, is poorly adjusted, or that hurts you is a hard time diving guaranteed. I therefore advise you to check before leaving that your mask or the rental mask is well suited to your face and is comfortable. To find out, without the strap, place the mask on your face and take a deep breath through your nose. If the mask holds in place and there is no air leakage, there will be no entry of water. A mask that you can accompany with a traditional snorkel, allowing you to breathe on the surface. Diving fins. With all the gear on our back, we can weigh up to 25 kilograms more. On dry land, no problem, we carry and we walk. But underwater, how do you move forward? It is not by kicking our feet that we will be able to move forward or resist a strong current. Hence the importance of fins. The canopy will increase the thrust on the water and allow us to move with reduced effort. There are two kinds of fins, full foot and adjustable. The first are the classic fins, in general sizes, and that we can wear with neoprene socks or barefoot. The adjustable fins are therefore adjustable and are worn with rigid boots. I advise you to try both systems before making a choice, especially if your feet are a bit cautious. Thermal protection. Another thing that I can only envy about fish is that they are not cold underwater. Indeed, the deeper we gain, the more the water temperature drops. Likewise, the efforts made make us consume energy and affect our body temperature. Thus, in order to perform a dive in the best possible conditions, and also for safety, it is essential to have thermal insulation. There is nothing worse than being cold to ruin a great dive, depending on the temperature of the water and your own resistance. There are a lot of solutions available to you. For the body, we will thus have the thermal top, the shorty suit, or the full suit. The thickness of this wetsuit will depend on you and your thermal comfort. 2 to 3 millimeters thick for hot water, waterproof or dry suit for extreme conditions, etc. Likewise, if you tend to get cold hands or feet, don't hesitate to cover them up. Neoprene gloves will have the advantage of protecting your hands from the cold but also from injury. Thus, slippers or booties will insulate your feet, but also allow you not to walk barefoot on the boat. Finally, you also have the balaclava, if this is not directly integrated into the suit itself. If ever the full wetsuit is not enough, you always have the possibility of adding layers of neoprene thanks to the mice or the sleeveless neoprene t-shirts that are placed under the wetsuit. Regulator and stabilizer vest. When I was a child, I tried to breathe underwater. It was completely silly, I know, but I thought I was a dolphin and I believed in it. I quickly became disillusioned and spat out all the swallowed water. Hence the need for a diving breathing system. So, you will understand, this will relate to the entire valve block system, to which we can add the stabilizing vest or stab, helping to support the weight of the block and ensuring buoyancy, as well as measuring devices, allowing us to control our air reserve analog or digital manometer. It is difficult to forget all this part of the equipment, however I can advise you to always check, and this several times, that everything is correctly connected. It is always easier to handle a connection in the open than underwater. So, check in particular that the first stage of your regulator is screwed to the block and that your stab is well connected to the circuit via its hose and that there are no leaks. Also check, via the pressure gauge, that the bottle is filled to the correct pressure. Safety first. Let's not hide it, diving can be a very dangerous sport. Whether through physical phenomena, decompression, etc., surface hazards or natural hazards, we are exposed to many possible accidents. That's why it's essential to bring some gear that can literally save our lives. Computer and dive tables. The first set concerns the physiological risks which we are confronted with due to the high pressure which reigns in the depths. Breathing air at constant pressure thanks to our regulator. We must not forget that decompression stops are essential. Without these stops, no deep dive. Without these stops, we are at risk of embolism which can be fatal. Hence the need to have with you an aid for the calculations of these stages, the dive tables and/or the computer. These first tell us what stops to make based on the duration and depth of the dive, while the computer automatically calculates it on its own. Visibility aid accessories then. Whether we are on the surface or underwater, we are hardly visible. Even if the various equipment is adorned more and more in bright colors, that is not enough. So there are accessories that allow us to inform that we are there. The first and most important is the landing parachute. Because the decompression stops are at shallow depth, we are not visible from the surface. Hence this brightly colored parachute which inflates and indicates on the surface that a group is making landings at that point. Likewise, it may happen that you have to contact or make signals on the surface in the event of a problem. Basic signals by slamming the surface of the water may work, but your best bet is still having a small mirror with you. The reflections of the sun can be seen from a great distance, but there still has to be sunshine. At night, signals with its lamp are also recommended. Who has not already lost sight, even if only for a few seconds, of his team? It happened to me and I can tell you that I was scared of my life. It is therefore useful to be visible underwater, and what works very well for my taste are the flash lamps. Very small, they emit intense flashes of light as soon as they get underwater, and are also visible from afar. For amateurs, Thailanddiving organizes online training courses from beginners to instructors. For all information, go to onlinediving.com. Have a good day and see you soon in Thailand with the IDC 5-star Dive Center Dive Academy Diving Asia. Good bubbles to all.